All right, let's get our daily dose of stupid here. Yeah, you're not going to believe. I mean, we'll dissect this a little bit.
Run those charger stations by Seattle City Light. Now, being told it could cost us about $2,000 just to replace the cables. These chargers in West Seattle have been offline since December after the cables were stolen. Jen Strang with Seattle City Light says this has been a problem on the rise. Seattle City Light says
So-
8 charging stations.
All right, so let's just think about this. By 2030, they want no new gas cars in Washington State, right? Or I guess in Seattle, or no, Washington State. We're gonna see the self-defeating. It's like a self-defeating prophecy. So yeah, not a self-fulfilling prophecy, a self-defeating prophecy. You'll see.
Of theirs have been hit, and they believe it has to do with the copper in the cables.
They are taking the metal and they are turning it in for monetary gain. Unfortunately, the amount of money that they're really gaining is nominal. It's about 10.
All right, so now I don't know what she means by nominal. Perhaps I'm the illiterate here, but to me, nominal means a static number as opposed to a percentage. Nominal doesn't mean little. Nominal is like if I say I make $150,000 a year or something, and like, okay, that's great if you live in some cheap place. You know, it's not much if you live in Seattle. Well, I guess it's enough, but I don't make $150,000. I'm not claiming that at all. But I'm just saying, like, that's a nominal number. Like, what is it relative to? You know, I think that's what nominal means. Perhaps I didn't graduate high school, but this girl's smarter than me. She probably has a college degree, and she's picking on poor people for stealing copper for their drug habit or whatever it is they're doing. Obviously, people are pretty desperate if they're doing that. But we'll just continue.
$10.
But the cost to replace the cables comes at a price tag of about $2,000, plus about $500 to have.
Yeah, so somebody steals about $10 worth of copper, and then you, the taxpayer, has to pay how much? $2,000 or whatever that was. And it was such a big number, it just blew past my brain. It obviously wasn't anywhere near nominal. All right, but these things are stupid. Because think about it. As if we're gonna electrify the economy, as they want to say, what do you think is gonna happen to the price of copper? You know, I'm invested in it. I think a little bit. So price of copper keeps going up. What do you think is gonna happen to those cables? It's gonna get even worse. It's gonna become like a militarized security zone to charge your car. It takes a half hour, by the way. This whole thing's a big mess. I don't know if it's by design. I think it's a little of both. Yeah, we'll continue.
And put in. Jim Fuda with Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound says copper theft has been a problem for decades, and electric vehicle chargers are just another way for thieves to get a hold of it.
This is true. I once had a theory about how to store wealth, and I had this idea of making a giant copper mountain in your backyard. Because if the copper thieves came, you'd obviously see them, and they'd have to like come weld your shit, like de-weld it or something. I don't know. It was a funny idea. Like just build a giant mountain of copper in your backyard, and you need some money, just like scrape. Like you can do that, but if some thief comes by, you're gonna see him and be like, "Hey, get the fuck out!" Right? Because they, copper thieves like to do this stuff when nobody's looking, because it's like it's petty theft, or as they call it in Canada, theft under 1,000. I've seen enough Trailer Park Boys to know that.
What's a charging cable? Anywhere from 6 to 10 to 12 feet. They cut that up in 2 to 6 foot lengths and haul it out quickly and then strip it and then go sell it to a fence.
Now, another problem Seattle City Light is running into, it's a supply chain issues. They say it's taking a little longer than usual to get the part.
Yeah, okay, there's the other thing. These guys want to electrify the economy. I mean, if they're really... the copper prices haven't really reflected electrifying the economy. And the reason why I think is because the smart guys that have the money, the real money... I mean, like, if you really thought they were going to electrify the economy, you just buy copper. Copper futures, copper ETFs, copper miners, copper. Noble metal. Has health benefits, too. If you know what I'm talking about. Ayurvedic cups and stuff. Copper's a sacred metal. I like it even more than silver and gold in some ways. But, yeah, if you're going to, like, electrify the economy as they want to, you're going to need so much copper, right? And they can't even find enough to do this. for the 12 dumbasses in Seattle that bought a Tesla. You know, it's just maybe, okay, 20. I mean, come on. All right.
Shipped, so it's delaying several stations from turning back on. Sitting right in front of those charger stations by...
Right, that's the end of the video. But, yeah, this guy here, those they run on gas. Yeah, that's another thing. A lot of this power is not coming from clean sources. There's no such thing as a clean source, guys. There is no such thing as a clean source of power. Show me one. Want to make solar panels? You need chemicals, petrochemicals, mining, minerals. You want to make a Tesla battery? You need child labor. You need fucking all kinds of weird minerals from all kinds of places on the planet. I'm not saying oil and gas is the best thing. No. In fact, I think ethanol is the superior fuel because you just grow plants and you burn ethanol. It runs a little different. Engines need to be a little different. You don't get as good a gas mileage, but they do it. As a matter of fact, we have ethanol in our gas when you buy gas here in the U.S., but there's a controversy because it can mess with like your hoses and stuff. Like it has to be built for it. That's my understanding. But I think ethanol will be spared. But then you're using up land. You're using up resources that could be used for food or land that could be a natural habitat for a animal or something. I mean, no matter what you do, you're going to be using up some of this planet. So I guess the idea is try to figure out the best one. This is probably the worst one. So I'll just stop it there. This is probably the most crappy solution to the problems of the planet. And then they're looking after a problem that I don't believe in man, bear, pig. All right? I don't believe in it. Never did.